Okay, this is a tape called Cheng-Fu corrections on the Cheng-Fu form. Most people get certain mistakes, and for the most part, most people usually get the same mistakes all the way through. A lot of mistakes usually come from people simply learning too quickly, or going on to the advanced forms a little too quickly before they really know the basic form very well. And you can tell when people have learnt too quickly, because they all have the same sort of errors. And so I'm just going through the whole form now. It won't take too long, but and just alerting you all to the fact that there are certain mistakes. So what you've got to really be doing is to really watch this, because some mistakes, even after repeated tellings, you don't realize you're doing them because they're so ingrained that you don't even realize you're making a mistake. It might just be a turn of the foot doing incorrectly, and because you've been doing it that way for 10 years, you can't even register that you're doing it incorrectly. You have to be told and told until it gets out, and then you have to practice and practice and practice until the new way of doing it takes over from the old incorrect way. So I'll just start from the top of the Cheng-Fu's form. This person doesn't make any mistakes. She does it absolutely correctly, don't you? Okay, go over there. I'll face the camera to do it. I'm just going to do it at the Cheng-Fu's form at its basic level, just so you can see what's happening. Okay. From here, the very first mistake is because people tend to want to go into Yang Lu Chan's form too quickly, they tend to bring this one down here and put weight onto the right foot. Remember, when you go to here, you should be able to pick that foot up off the ground before changing the weight. Yang Lu Chan's form is totally different. It comes straight down with the weight onto that foot. The Cheng-Fu's form, straight to here. The eyes are to the front. I'm only going over the mistakes, so I'm not teaching the whole thing, obviously. Now from here, another mistake is people tend to go, see, moving the hands with the foot. You must step first, but the hands are still moving, see, from here. As I step, look, there's a little turn of the body to the right, which tends to step the foot forward. That's in our advanced tape. I'm not going to go over that because it's not a mistake. When you're learning basic form, you actually pick the foot up like that, roll it, and step it forward like that. Most people tend to, well, bring the foot across like that. You must bring the foot, if you bring the foot forward and then bring it back, you must still have shoulder width between your ankles. But that's not usually a mistake that people pick up from doing the forms too quickly. That's just a mistake that people do naturally anyway. They tend to want to go like that because it's easier. So when you pick your foot up, I always tell people put a stick down there and step forward and place your foot, and if it comes across away from the stick, your footstep's going to be an incorrect bow stance. So make sure you get it straight down there. Pang. A lot of people make the mistake of, see that? I'll do it to the front. It's not lateral, it's ward off slantingly upwards. That's what pang means. So that arm must be slanting. It mustn't come through like that. It must be slanting upwards. The wrist in your center, of course. Okay, carrying on. Okay, this is another mistake people make right from the beginning. And it's very difficult to stop people doing this because it's so easy to do it incorrectly. Watch. This hand was incorrect. Or a lot of people do this. I'll turn sideways to see this one. And then go into double pang. This hand must stay at that level. You simply bring it through like that. See? If my hand's on that level, it must finish on that level. It mustn't raise up at all here. The left hand turns down, and in turning it down, see, it moves a little bit from here to here. See, only 3 inches away from that hand, it moves a little bit like that. The other hand will come through so that at this point, if you brought your palms together, they would both touch together like that. So they must be vertically on top of each other at this point. So the three things must all happen together. You bring your hands through like that. Your eyes are already looking out here. You turn your body 45 degrees to the right. Pick up your right heel. Those three things happen together. Now when you place your heel here, it's very important to place your heel down where it was. A lot of people do make this mistake because it's easier again. See, that's easy. I brought the foot across. That's incorrect. You get an incorrect bow stance there. You must pick your foot up and place it down, which means that you feel like you're stepping out. You actually feel like you're stepping out. Not coming out, stepping out. See? So your foot must go down the same spot in that way, and when you drag your toes around, you'll still have shoulder width between your ankles. Another mistake is in the left foot. When you drag your left foot around, I'll turn this way. This is incorrect. Watch what happens.